No, you couldn't do it because I called in. I had this big bag full of sandwiches.
Oh, it was our one, the early one.
So I had to give Robin. I said, oh, yes, feeding gone again. I said, oh.
Yeah, I must have been on the early one.
I didn't eat.
After the food on Tuesday.
No, this was the Friday before.
Oh.
The Friday before. Yeah. I finished after getting some from the sun to the
And hopefully we'll have a great view down into Akaroa today. We'll stop up there for a little while so that you can enjoy the views, get a hot and then from that point there we'll go down to Barry's Bay where we can sample some of the cheese that's made in the old traditional manner, and that's always a great stop, so I hope you all like cheese. And then from that point we head straight down and into Akaroa so that you can begin the afternoon doing whatever you choose to do. Now Akaroa is a wonderful place just where you can go. Over in Akaroa today, absolutely nobody on the road. It's certainly not like this all the time. Rim and then right down into the basin of the volcano. So hopefully we'll get a great view down into Akaroa. It's a bit brighter over this side. That's the Akaroa harbour down there. Generally if the sky was a bit clearer this water would be a beautiful shade of emerald green. We'll stop over here at the Hilltop Tavern. I'll point out where Akaroa is for you. Akaroa itself is directly before us. It's right across the other side of the harbour. So when we leave this point here, we head down to the bottom of the hill and we turn left and we go via a few bays before we reach Akaroa itself. Okay, so we'll stop up here, give you enough.
Ah, yeah.
Yes, okay. Wanna walk? I'm gonna walk this way. Can you see behind?
Yeah.
Can you see that? Okay, thank you.
They wouldn't be able to cope with the demand, but they do send it up as far as Wellington a few years ago. So out of 40 countries, they did extremely well. So it just goes to show the standard of cheese in which they do make out here. Now they don't make cheese throughout the winter. They will restart again the first weekend in October and they'll carry on through to the first weekend in May. Now that's because of calving. They don't have enough milk to supply for the calves as well as making cheese. but you can certainly have a look at where the cheese is made. And once we do arrive there, you can have a look through the viewing windows. There's certainly some lovely photographs up on the wall as well, which shows you the process that it does go through. So we'll get to sample 3 of their different cheese, and once they do mainly arrived into the harbour, they should have realised that they didn't have any claim to the land. But it still actually took them 9 years of verbal debating before they gave up any hope at all. So it wasn't until 1849 when they finally sold their journey. So it was renamed in 1916. It actually remained German Bay for 76 years. At that time, there were no longer any Germans living out here when they did rename this area. Descendants of the original families, but there's not a lot of French spoken, unfortunately. So if you're wishing, perhaps also some of the adults will start taking some lessons as well. So it'll be great to get a little bit more French influence back into the area. They do have a few French days throughout the year, and they are organised days, and they're certainly proving very, very popular. When you're walking around, it does pay to go off the main street. You'll be amazed at what you do. Typical New Zealanders we love to eat, so there is no shortage of eating houses and great quality food. They range from bakeries to cafes, cafe wine bars, local hotels, and there's more upmarket hotels, some little cottages which serve a bit of French cuisine. There's also the very popular Akaroa fish and chip shop. So if you haven't yet had New Zealand fish and chips, this is the place to have them. They really are wonderful. The Akaroa cod is fresh from the harbour. There used to be a large commercial fishing area out here, but you can no longer buy fish fresh from the wharf, which you used to be able to do many years ago. It is a marine sanctuary out here now. Here throughout the winter, it's only open on the weekends, unfortunately. But in the summertime, it's open 7 days a week. It's very busy. It's a wonderful place to sit and just enjoy some harbour views, and also some views of the hillside. They're certainly producing some lovely wine out here. The cheese factory does also sell all the local photo. Sometimes we find cows, sometimes we find sheep. So calfing's not too far away for someone. Just take your time. It's no rush. Good girl. It's the first of our French names there. That's de la Chaux. So this area was named after 2 French brothers who settled out here. Now we back in Christchurch just pronounce it de Rochelle. It's so much easier to say. Especially when you've been down to the de la Chaux Hotel for a couple of hours, which is an excellent old hotel. It was established in 1855. The first hotel in the South Island. Akaroa is a Maori name which means long harbour. It's 17 kilometres long out there. So it's actually longer than our Littleton Harbour, which is our main port, but this is quite a bit more shallow. So we don't have any large boats coming into the harbour here. We have like the Windstar, the smaller cruise ships come in throughout the summer, but not the larger ones. Still see the old post boxes there. So it is an historic building now. Get some great views over the harbour. settled, along with 2 of the Germans. You will find a lot of the street names around this particular part are in French. And as we round this first corner here on the right-hand side, there's a small red cottage in there that was built by Jacob Wagel. So it's just there on the right. He was one of the 2 Germans who settled out here. This is the main street of Akaroa. It takes you right up around the waterfront, out to the lighthouse, into a few more houses up around the corner, and you do have to turn around and come back again. So there's only one way into Akaroa and one way out, so it has helped preserve the area over the years. On the right hand side, when the time comes for you to retire, you could move out here, a retirement village here on our right, our left, sorry. And you wouldn't have far to go to the church. It's right next door. St. Patrick's Church. It's the 3rd Catholic church to be built on that site. So anything can happen if you go in there. It's a great little church to have a look in. And this is where all the local craft stations start, all the eating houses. Lavender and honey on the right hand corner there. They have some lovely products in there. There's a picture gallery next to that. A couple of these smaller ones just having renovations done, ready to open for our busy season. The Jardine here on the left hand side, some lovely food in there. Madeira Hotel on the right hand side. The original site for that was next door at Shayla Mere, which is a very popular backpackers. Fault line gallery here on the right hand side. Just be careful, I'm sure that fault line's getting bigger in there. The Akaroa Pharmacy on the right hand corner. Opposite that is the Jade House, and then back on the right again is Potpourri, and they do make their own fudge out here, so you can get to that. It looks as though that's closed, unfortunately. Yep. There's the Woolshed Gallery here on the right hand corner. The entrance to that is just around the corner here on Church Street, along with Fire and Ice Crystal Importers. Some more of these little cottages down here on the right hand side. That's an excellent place to stroll around. Restrooms up the centre of the town are just before us there on the waterfront. If you're looking at doing the harbour cruise, the boat's out there just before us to the left hand side a little when you swim out there. I'm just joking, it comes back into the main wharf just here on the right hand side. And also the road out to our left takes you out to the lighthouse. Just before the lighthouse there's a small walk through Garden of Tane, and also one of the French cemeteries up through there, so if you're wishing to have a look at one of the old cemeteries, that would be the one to have a look at. So they're all marked on your map, those areas. So this is the main wharf area here. If you do decide to do the harbour cruise, you'll need to go